Sagacity. 7 minutes of exercise for your mind.
When we look at mental fitness as a model, we have 7 components. 6 core components that, when they're all firing on all cylinders, create the 7th component. The 7th component being power, mental power to get things done in the most effective and efficient way. I'm not going to go into all of that today, but I think if I was going to put today's message into one of the components, it would fit quite neatly into mental balance. Now, today's message is add weight to feel great. If anybody out there has ever tried to reduce their body fat to fit into a different clothes size or feel better about themselves, hopefully you've found a way to feel better about yourself, whether you lost the body fat or not, because it's not the be all and end all. But from a health perspective, the less body fat, the better, as long as it's not too low. But this isn't about that today. And if I was to say add weight to feel great to someone who's been through that journey, it probably wouldn't make sense. But what I'm talking about today is our behaviours, our choices, the outcomes that we see, achieve, don't achieve, but the effort that we put in, our different measurements of success, balanced against, so we visualise a set of scales, and on one side of those scales we've got the things that happen to us that we'd rather didn't happen, some self-inflicted, some out of our control, but that is life. That's the life we're privileged to live. Sometimes we get things that we don't wish for, and sometimes we get the things we wish for. We have a bit of influence over that, so let's try and get that right. Now, if they're evenly balanced, then we would say we're having an average time, I guess, an average day. An average isn't bad, right? Average is underrated. Average means that your expectations are kind of being met, provided your expectations are realistic. That's the key, right? If your expectations are realistic based on your experiences of your life up to this point, no matter whether they're too high or too low, it can really skew our decision making and where we put ourselves in life and the outcomes that we get. But let's look at those scales. On one side, we've got the things that we didn't wish for and the things that have come up that aren't too great and the things that didn't go our way. On the other side, we've got the things that have gone our way, we wished for, we're happy, it puts a smile on our face, we're grateful, all that good stuff. Now let's imagine, and hopefully none of you have gone through this recently, but the likelihood is the more listeners we get, the more chances that some of you have been through what I'm about to describe. But then we can all move towards what I'm also going to describe in terms of getting more outcomes that are positive for us and put us in a good mental space, strong mental fitness. So have you had something, or someone in your circle of friends or network had something happen to them that is just real not cool stuff? I don't want to start talking doom and gloom with real tragedy. And if anyone's been through that, I hope you've got the support you need. If there's anything that me or my network can do to support, then we'll always try our best and connect you to others if needed. Let's talk about the small to medium sized stuff. So let's say that you've hit a pothole and your tire's knackered. You got to pay out for a new wheel so you can get about, and you weren't ready for that. Maybe you didn't even have the money to do it. You had to find a way. Maybe you've had a bout of sort of virus that's made you not be able to function at your best. Maybe you've been involved in sport and it hasn't gone your way. Maybe you went for a job interview and that didn't go your way. Those day-to-day things that are really inconvenient, we wish they didn't happen, but they happen. And when they come, if we put that on the scales, on the side of things that we didn't want to happen, it's going to drop right to the bottom. It's heavy, it's a burden, and it's a nightmare. And when we start looking for something that can balance that out on those scales, it can be very hard to see anything in the near future that is going to balance that out. And if we go searching for that thing, we can't see it, we get upset, we get emotional, and a lot of people would give up and just accept that I'm having a bad day. How many of you have said that? Put your hand up if you have. I'm having a bad day and it's only 9:30 in the morning. It's a ridiculous statement really, isn't it? Because there's a whole day ahead. If you're having a bad week and it's only Monday or Tuesday, if you work Monday to Sunday, whatever it is, we've all been there and we let that emotion consume us. This is where the mental balance comes in. Find those things, those almost insignificant things that you don't put enough weight on, and start putting more weight on them. If you've bumped into someone you haven't seen for ages in the street or at work, and you've had a chat, and you've put a smile on their face, or you made them feel good about themselves, or they've made you feel good about yourself, or maybe you've just empowered each other. In that moment, it's easy to walk away and get on with your day, but put more weight on that interaction. If you've made a good decision recently that has stopped something negative from happening in your life, it hasn't created anything massively different for you, but it hasn't made you go backwards. Put more weight on that decision. If you've supported a young person in your family who's struggling with school or needed some wisdom, and you've used your experiences in life to help them, put more weight on that. If you got up and exercised or done a little bit more movement than you normally do, but it doesn't look like a massive amount in the big scheme of things, but you've done something, put more weight on that, because when you put together 7, 8, 9 different little bits together that you add more weight to, it balances out those scales. 7, 8 or 9 small things that you add a little bit more weight to when you think about them more and reflect will balance out that one big incident that came. And suddenly you're in average, and you might even tip it to an above average day or a week or a month. Or if you keep this behaviour in mind, it could take you to a positive year rather than an average year. But it certainly won't take you backwards. So something to think about. Add more weight to the little things to feel great. Not great about the bad things, I'm not suggesting that. You'll feel better in yourself when you add more weight to those small things. As always, if you've got to this point on the Sagacity episode, I would like to think you found it useful in one way or another. We're all about empowering people through people, so please do share with anyone else that you think this episode would resonate with, either now or in the future. We don't put a marketing budget behind this stuff. We're all about empowering people through people. The more people we can reach, the more people can change their lives for the better, and then go on to empower others to live a better life. That's what we're about. See you on the next episode.